Yo, so honestly, man, we have been feeling that rich to be able to decide to have this conversation with you today. There are a lot of thoughts and projections about this upcoming election and what the role of young people is for this November. I want you to tell me what you think about how young people should be thinking for this upcoming election.
Man, I'm gonna try to speak the young folks' language. We was talking about pushing people for a long time. So I'm just gonna stick with some P's right now. We can't get lost in the sauce and ignoring policy or politicians or personalities. The direction that we want, there is projection that happens that says that we can't do X, Y, and Z when actuality it is the political opposite. That's what I'm saying, it's doing that. Right now we have people that is falling prey to the personality version, to the politician version. The person, sometimes you gotta put that to the side and recognize the policies and recognize like what's really on the table. As a result of individuals talking about Joe Biden almost being about to die and Donald Trump being able to survive an assassination attempt, we are no longer talking about policy. Now we're talking about personalities. We're talking about the people. Let's push the people. What's the P we should be thinking about is like,
I'm always talking about policy over people.
right? So people and power.
You know what I'm saying? No more promises. What are you going to do? What is your plan? What are you going to do? Right now, young people are tired of letting people who are 2 weeks before the election promising this, promising that, just trying to get a vote. Right? We need to make sure we have people who actually have policies and plans in place. And so, how would you suggest young people get involved in making sure that elections are accountable to the promises that are given?
Man, knowing what leaders is, and recognizing that regardless of whether you know about who's pushing the policy, you still got to know your life when you dictate by the policy. So you say, politics can do you. So now what? And because that is true, I think as young people, we all should be very invested politically, socially, economically, in our local what's going on. I said yesterday on our panel, I recognize that the top of the ballot in the presidency sometimes it becomes like a Super Bowl. I'm going for this team, I'm going for this team. But you're not thinking about what's down that ballot. As black people, we know that we're more likely to be incarcerated. Who is your prosecutor? Who is your sheriff? You feel me? You worried about, you know what I'm saying, drag queens in school? Or you worried about, you know what I'm saying, who's the superintendent? You feel me? And I think that these are questions that's very, very important that we should know. You know what I'm saying? If we can invest time in the Kendrick versus Drake, you know what I'm saying, we could try to also apply some of that energy to recognize and how I like it, you know what I mean? It's just like this.
Right? You talking about down by election, right? The importance of things that are going to impact you tomorrow. But I think very rightly so, like young people are very disillusioned by this system, right? Like we've done for a long time, kind of it, right? We've seen like leaders lie, steal, and cheat, and you still expect us to turn out. And so, especially in this climate of today, for folks who are discouraged about the process, what do you say to them?
Hey, 2016, a lot of us was on our self-righteous revolutionary. We ain't voting for the system because Hillary Clinton ain't no different from Obama. We gonna get X, Y, and Z. What happened was Donald Trump was able to appoint some Supreme Court justices. Donald Trump was no longer in office when the Supreme Court overturned affirmative action when it overturned. As young people, already all of us, we should really keep that in mind. This upcoming election is going to allow for the potentiality for the president to be able to appoint 2, maybe even 3 more Supreme Court justices. These are the courts that's going to dictate our lives for the next 3-4 generations. Donald Trump talking about, hey man, these folks said they're going to be a judge. He said, yeah, I said, how old's the judge? I said, he's 60. They say, oh, no, we want somebody that's young. We need somebody that's 30, that's 40, that can be in this office for 40, 50 years. So you just thinking about what's happening right now, you ain't thinking about the long game. Congratulations, you are signing the certificate for your destruction. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's the reality that we live in. The reality that we live in is that we have the separation of, you know what I'm saying, of powers. We got checks and balances. If you believe this little stimulus check, you feel me? Would have got more, you know what I'm saying? We would have had somebody else announce. But there are a lot of people that's like, well, world wisdom, conscious, Trump in office is going to make the economy better. You put money in the streets, I'm going over here. That is a empirically false analysis that gives credit to somebody that don't, you know what I'm saying, don't need it. We have pandemic relief meetings in branches. If we have a natural disaster or, you know what I'm saying, a pandemic, we're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, some funds to be able to get into. You shouldn't attribute that to me, like, having been trumpeted, so trumpeted. I think that's what's going on. Also, I think that a lot of our, not only young people, but people also our age, I think they get duped by the all-white pipeline. Feel me? High value, low value. He makes 6 figures. Can you make me feel like a man? They gonna appeal to it. You know what I'm saying? Based off of gender. By that 4th, 5th gender video, now you got full-blown Andrew Tate white supremacy.
Yeah.
But it did slick on you though. It did slick on you. They talked about a man being a man first. Then they talked about how women should know their place, how these modern women, and now you side with them. So for me, it's like really understanding what's going on around me and knowing how people playing me.
And I appreciate you bringing it up, right? Because you are in this world of content creation, right? You're consistent on social media. And so how do you be authentic about your message and your content in a way that is real to who you are, right? As well as speaks to the current time of living. Because you're absolutely right? Folks are talking to demographics, trying to push an agenda, right? And multiple times, I've seen false narratives being pushed about what young people, what people are care about, right? They consistently say millennials and Gen Z aren't turning out, they don't care about the election, they don't care about the issues, but like in this, and that's my future.
And recognizing as well that the Biden administration in 2020, before that was the administration, the Biden administration is indebted to Gen Z and millennials. Joe Biden doesn't get in office without them. With that being said, we are a big part of like the vote demographic. So who we vote for or not vote for is gonna have an impact on the last result. You know, we only make up this percentage of the electoral. How we show up to the polls definitely impacts what's going on. I mean, we know these white folks 40% gonna vote for, I'm saying, Republican. You feel me? And 39 gonna vote. Now it's about that middle. And for me, it's really thinking like, man, the Supreme Court justice say that if you sleep outside, I can take you to jail. The Supreme Court justice said that if I say from the river to the sea, you are restricting my freedom of speech. Everything that I was taught that makes America and patriotic is everything now that's on chopping block. Can you protest without doing it? No. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you be critical of how America is spending its money internationally? No. You know what I'm saying? Can you go help homeless people, unhoused people? No. You know what I'm saying? Can we teach about Black history? No. And now it's just like, what does that mean for you as a young person?
So like, it's really going to impact our future. And something I'm seeing that is really bubbling up in this course is this boogeyman, which is Project 25, right? And how they're going to actually really change the course of America forever. Some of the things I'm afraid about is if Donald Trump is elected, we're going to have a permanent conservative Supreme Court for the rest of our lives, right? And so what other things in the Empire should we be worried about or concerned about?
To our people for real, right? Project 2025 has a lot of rhetoric specifically around gender and around sexuality. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of my fellow Black people, young, middle-aged, and old, get duped out when it comes to talking about gender and sexuality. So you're gonna have a lot of Black folks that's gonna sign their own certificate to destruction because you so against trans women, and you don't recognize that Project 2025 also want to teach your kids that slavery benefited them. You feel me? They don't want to. The Project 2025 also said you can't say privilege, you can't say equity, you can't say intersectionality, you can't say none of this. They gonna focus on. They trying to make it where men can't play women's sports. They gonna focus on, man, I want them drag queens coming and read to my kids in the library. So now you finna sign up for some white supremacist anti-Black policy because at the top of it seems to be fitting your stuff. That's what scares me. As a content creator, as somebody that lived down south, and somebody that people will be like, hey, conscious, I like when you talk that shit, when you talk about race. When you start talking about that gender and sexuality stuff, bro, I don't know about that, you miss me. The Republicans and the Heritage Foundation, they know this. In 2020, when we was talking about Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, The red pill, blue pill people thought it was more important to talk about high value, fat and black, you got 4 kids and how you got a job and you're not desirable. You know what I'm saying? I think that the people that's against us politically, they seen that. And I think that it's literally now been like little proxy, little seeds being sold to make it where now instead of us talking about black community, black camaraderie, and some of us ain't free, none of us ain't free, now we're talking about bad news. Or we're talking about in a very pathological way, black LGBTQ people. Notice I said black. Not look at the community and make it where you give white folks too much power. A lot of us sometimes look at the LGBT community and we erase all our brothers, sisters, and not the one people in there. And I know this what we moving into, you feel me? They're gonna be able to show and really flip like, oh, so you hate black people more than you love white people. That's it with this. We have people in our community that hate black queer people more than they love their own people. And it's literally dictating how not only policy and how structure and how communities operate, it's literally dictating people's quality of life. What to do with that? And I know right now it's a lot of young people that's being pulled a lot of different ways, specifically on gender and sexuality. That's why I rock with Professor Crenshaw, because she gave me the language to be able to think about intersectionality in a way where it's not taboo. It's real, you know what I'm saying? In a real way, as a black, straight, cisgender man, I know that if some of us ain't free, then none of us ain't free. And whatever they do me on to criminalize and demonize, you feel me, my black queer people, after they done eliminating them and taking their legitimacy, they come for me. You. They don't recognize it.
I feel like me and you were probably part of that last generation, that exposure to that knowledge. Professors and folks were speaking that way. And now just across the country, we're seeing home impact, we're seeing inclusion, don't say gay, all these things that are really trying to eliminate and take away our identity and our authenticity. Right? And so how do you stay real? How do you stay relevant when we are really up against something that feels so hopeless?
As a country southerner, I like to feel like it is what it is. I'm an acquired taste. I'm not for everybody. There are going to be certain people that hear me, see me, and be like, that guy's nasty. I don't like it. I'm not for them. I'm not willing to add spices or sugars or salt to make it what I'm putting down is more palatable and consumable. I like to be genuine to me and be real to me. And I know I ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna like it. There's gonna be some people that don't understand me. I feel like I'm able to stay genuine and real because it's like, and also, more importantly, what I just said, or what I'm saying, can I back it up? Can I defend what I'm saying? I'm being real with you. That's something for me. It's like, I just made this video before I click post. Can I defend what I just said in this video? If I can, it's love. I don't give a damn who disagrees. Debate me. You feel me? Or you make a better video. You think that I should be talking about something else? Let me hear it. But also, you have the ability to make your platform as well, the ability to post as well. So now I'm good at being me. I tried to do other things, but it wasn't that good. I'm good at being conscious. I'm good at being George. I'm good at talking high. I'm good at that. And I know that ain't for everybody.
Battle testing, right? Like I said, yo, you gotta be tested, right? Like people have put you through that, gone through trial and tribulations, catch the fire, and then it becomes that they know what they're gonna get. Right? And so how do we continue to inspire this next generation to search for that, to engage that, to ensure that one, our rights are protected, but they have access to the opportunity to consistently speak their truth.
This when we started with the concept of like knowledge of self. Self-love, self-care, self-wisdom, self-awareness. That's how it started. Like, what pissed me off? What motivated me? What made me cry? What made me feel depressed? What encourages me? What makes me feel affirmed? What makes me feel engaged? I've thought about those things. I think about those things. So when I show up, I know who I am. I know I ain't for everybody. You can't. I would never allow for my psyche to fall prey to somebody's snapshot perception of who constantly because you see the video or two.
I'll also add self-love. Because I think once I got this word, it was really about me loving myself, loving my community, engaging with my mission. understanding what makes me great, recognizing that I stand on the shoulders of giants, right? Coming out of California, coming out of the Bay Area, recognizing the power of the Black Panther Party, right? And what they did for young Black students to be the organizers of today and tomorrow. And so that self-love aspect is so necessary in this world where there are a lot of messages of negativity, right? Of future that feels hopeless, right? You have to be someone who is power, that will be honest. You gotta make sure that you are letting your audience engage with you and rip people all there. You don't show up as consciously show up, no matter what. Whether you're at the White House, whether you're at the NAACP convention, but I got to be back at home. Like you don't be you, right? And so, like, what words of wisdom would you give to other folks, either millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, about how to be themselves?
I think once I figured out like what made me happy, and once I figured out that I wanted to be kind of celebrated and not tolerated, I think that it made it where I set different boundaries for how people don't interact with me and how I interact with other people. But also I think that when I learned the concept of Black inferiority, and I learned about the concept of Black inferiority and seeing how infused it was to this world around me, I thought what that meant for me as a Black person. And I think that's the reason why the self-knowledge, self-love, care, awareness, all that, for me it helped me because it made it where I was like, now I feel bad about myself because I've internalized that Black inferiority. I think that that's something that we have to be very vigilant about. All the East Coast and the West Coast, Divine 9, you're not Divine 9, you rock with NAACP, you don't rock with NAACP. Are you familiar with Black inferiority? Or how Dr. Percy Chris was like, hey, if you don't understand white supremacy, you don't understand nothing. And that's really how I came into the game. I was able to start to now expand on my knowledge about white supremacy and Black inferiority, intersectional standpoint, in terms of ability, in terms of class, in terms of gender, and sexuality. I recognize that Black women, you feel me, in the way I'm experiencing Black inferiority is different. You feel me? I know that my disabled, you know what I'm saying, lesbian sister, you feel me, she don't experience, you feel me, a Black inferiority and white supremacy different. I believe that some of us ain't free, that none of us ain't free. I should be very mindful of the different ways that white supremacy forces Black people to navigate and recognize it's not my living. You feel me? I'm a country charismatic dude. I know that white supremacy gonna respond to be a lot different than, you feel me, it could be another cisgender Black man. He ain't into that. You feel me? I think that we gotta fight. That's how I started.
Right. I appreciate this framework that operating with. None of us are free until all of us are free. Right. I really believe that idea is so necessary, even in our community as political engagement, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, I'm gonna feel, for me, when we're talking about the Black community, I identify as an African, right? Like for Black people in the free, African. It's for African free, Black people, everyone is free, right? It's not all of us, right? So we have to apply that framework to everything that we do, how we engage, how we make sure we are consuming content, how we are engaging with our history, our knowledge, and all of that. And so, as somebody who's very read, very well-spoken, putting out content to help educate the masses, like, what are other ways that you are engaging, right? And I know you are working on a podcast. Can you tell me about Black History for Real?
Yeah, man, Black History for Real. It's a podcast we do every Monday. We talk about the movers and shakers of Black history from, all over the world, and a lot of stories people might not be familiar with. It is a curated, like a script, we got a producer, we got sound, and we get into the stories that we didn't hear about in school, because again, the Black inferiority is infused in history. So the podcast is really about being able to educate not only Black people, but all people that takes into the podcast Black History for Real in a way that is not forefront and prioritizing how can this issue be valued to somebody like me. I think it's first and foremost, what are stories that Black people hear more of? And our first series is over the Black Panther Party. Phoenix Shakur, Asada Shakur, Kathleen Cleaver, Elaine Brown. That's what it was over. When you go to it, talking about the Black Panthers in that direction. Now we're talking about a whole different way than Bobby Seale and Fred Hampton, how they did. So for me, it's like the podcast I learned. I got a degree in African American Studies. There are times that doing the podcast, I didn't know I was like that. Like Elaine Brown, there's so much about her that I did not know that really blew my mind. And what I know is that in school, they don't want us to know about these kids. That's the reason why the Heritage Foundation has spent all this money on bureaucracies and lobbyists and interest groups, and that's the reason why they want to ban social media. Because if I spend $15 million on a lobbyist to goddamn not teach you about racism or take it like some pussy out, and you go to the For You page, I just spent $15 million on making it where you can't learn this. And you went to the For You page. Read the For You page about it. Read the For You page about it. And to me, that's the reason why I know, like, knowledge is power, specifically black people. When we have knowledge, it's something else. You know what I mean? It's something else.
Last question I ask you. You talk about Black History Bill. If there was a revolutionary, you would sit down and get that for real history, that straight up knowledge of the game.
Huey P. Newton. Huey P. Newton. As a matter of fact, there would be no conscious league without Huey P. Newton. Huey P. Newton is really like, you know what I'm saying? I've already cussed him a few times. That's the nigga that put me on this. That's the person that lit the fire under my ass has been burning since 33. That fire been burning since I was 18, 19 years old. And I read the Revolutionary Suicide. When I got to go to East Oakland, one of my best friends and my debate partner, you know what I'm saying, raised by a black man. And when I got immersed into that as a Southerner, it really just blew my mind. And that's when I recognized as well is that down south, the way that we get to resist and the way that we're supposed to resist is a lot different than on the coast. And what I admire is that on the progressive thought on the East Coast and West Coast, it's a little bit more defined. It's a little bit more face. You know what I'm saying? Down south, we don't adhere to a lot of the Bible Belt politics and respectability politics and making sure you're being seen as a good nigga at the expense of somebody being seen as a bad nigga. That's a part of it. When I went back home the first time, and I learned about the Black Panther Party, and I'm talking about it, my neighborhood and community and family was scared. Almost like, hey man, that's enough people really start talking about it. Even right now. Man, you know what I'm saying? So really, you would be down right. You would be
Right. Because but you are us, right? From being from the West Coast, right? You can understand the history of the Black people party, right? Even before
we like Louisiana or something.
And Oakland, it was the Black Panther Party in Loudoun County, Alabama, right? It was both Democrat, both Republican, both Black people, right? Idea of if you are upset with politics, if politics is not serving, if politics is not serving the best interest of the community, right? Then you run for something, right? To own your city, own your state, own your territory, do what is necessary for your community, make sure that you win, make sure that we can benefit.
Definitely. And it's on us, man. It's on us. Like, once I accepted that whether I do politics or not, politics don't do me, change your mindset. Whether you elect the politician or whether you push for the policy gonna be pushed. That policy gonna dictate your life and it's gonna make laws. If you don't abide by the law or abide by policy, there's consequences. So you can't just opt out and be like, no, I don't care about that. I don't Damn, do you care about the roads? Do you care about the people who sleep for dinner? You care about, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know what that means for you to say you don't care about politics. And I think that just to give a simplified definition, I define politics as who gets what, when, where, and how. It's that simple. Who gets what, when, where, and how. Who gets when, where, and how. That's politics. If you telling me you don't care about that, then you're rich. Sorry. You real? I think you're rich. You don't care about your mama and your daddy. You don't care about your grandma and them. You don't care about your cousins and them. You want to get generational wealth. You want to get access to resources. All these are questions of politics, man. You want your cousin to get a release date? Is you tired of paying for phone? You know what I'm saying? You want to come? These are politics. Questions of politics, man. But you pay too much for your eyelashes. You feel like the beautician shouldn't be charging you to wash your hair. It's politics, man. What? The barber finna get you for 75 for wearing up? This to me, these like, that's by inflation. So if the policy make it where everything, the value of everything is going up except for your labor, that's a question of politics. If you're gonna charge you more for the cup, you say the cup costs more. But the person that made the cup don't get paid more. Who gonna be more likely doing the labor? You know, I'm talking to right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why to me it matters.
Right? Democracy.
Push your T. Push your T. Progress, baby. Don't fall for these politicians, you know what I'm saying? These personalities, you feel me? But look at the policy, man. It's about power, you know what I mean? Stokely Carmichael said, if the white man wants to lynch me, that's his problem. If the white man has the power to lynch you, that's my problem. You feel me? Hey, man, power is what it's about. And if you don't concede the power to other people, you should really think about it. Don't do that, man. Power is